I made well over $10,000 per month in pure profit from this brand called History Tees. We ultimately sold this company to Open Store, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you through that business step by step, so you're able to see everything from our ads all the way through to our checkout page, and I'm going to be breaking down everything so you can apply it to your own business and ultimately lead to higher conversion rate, more profitable ads, and more sales at the end of the day. Let's do it. So in History Tees, we had a very simple 5-step funnel, starting with our ad to our collection page, then our product page, the cart, and then checkout. So let's see how all of these pieces fit together into what's called our funnel. So our funnel, at the very top, we had our ad, which this is what's driving all of the traffic into the rest of the company. We're going to break down what that ads looked like specifically, ad creative, the products, how we did our testing, all of that stuff. But first off, the ad drives the traffic in to the collection page. It's optional here to also drive it to your product page. We can do either one of those. Majority of the time, we drive it to our collection page because it's just a page where people are able to see all of our products in one easy to access spot. And this is all on Shopify on like one of the most basic themes. The one we were using at the time was free. Then we have the product page. Then we have the cart. And then we have the checkout, and then you could add the last step technically being the thank you page. But at a very high level, that's what the funnel looks like. Now let's go through each step of the funnel one by one and break it down. And a quick note, as we're looking at our funnel, all of these screenshots we're talking about are going to be on desktop version, but mobile is really the place that we want to be placing our focus because that is where 80+% of our traffic nowadays comes from. And this is generally the case for any e-commerce brand who's driving paid marketing. So it's just something to keep in mind, but desktop view is typically just easier to talk about. So first up, we have the ad. So the main goal of our ad is two simple things. Get people to click either on the call to action link in our ad copy or the shop now button below the ad image. Now, the way we do that is there's a lot of different variables that get broken down within the ad. So at the very top, and this is just from top to bottom, not in order of priority, but at the very top, we have our page info, which is just our page name and our logo. Second, we have our ad copy, which this is where we have attention grabbing first line. Second line is a urgency or reason to buy now, basically. And then third line is the CTA, call to action, link to buy now. Next, we have our ad creative, which that's the entire ad image, or you could have videos, slideshows, a lot of different options. In this case, we had just a very simple flat lay mockup. That is the way that we display the product, which is number 4. And product, in this case, our design, should be centrally located, very easy to read, especially in the case of History Tees. We had a lot of text-based designs. So it was of the utmost importance that our mockups were very zoomed in. And the way a good judge for that is that the t-shirt is basically touching the edges of the mockups. Anytime there's like a 10 to 20% buffer-ish around the edges, normally a sign that the mockup or the t-shirt is too small within the mockup. We should make it larger. And fifth, we have the headline. In this case, we were just using a simple product title headline, and then the link description below is something that builds like proof or confidence in potential buyers shopping with you. So this could be things like money back guarantee, number of orders that you've shipped, anything of that sort. If you're a USA based company, if you're advertising to the US, that can help. And then lastly, we have our call to action button. So all of these pieces together, the ad creative and product are by far the most important. Second is the ad copy and the headline. Really, the ad creative and the product is by far the biggest dial mover that I would focus on. The ad copy is, in my opinion, like 15 to 20% of the overall formula, but the goal of the ad creative is to get people to stop scrolling. A lot of different ways you could do that. Comment down below if you want to see like a more detailed breakdown of like the psychology behind the ads. And I know this looks super simple. That's the beauty of it. We tested a lot of different things, and flat lay mockups like this one outperform the rest. And you can even go on the Facebook ad library at the time of filming this, and Open Store is still running ads just like this one. Next up, we have the collection page. And the collection page is the primary landing page that we drive our traffic to. And on this page, our goal is to get people to either A, click on the product image, or B, click the add to cart button below the product. And again, this is the desktop view. You want to be focusing on mobile, but the goal of this page is to keep it super simple and clean. We don't want to overload the user with too much information. We just want to make it a super streamlined buying experience, because people who are buying $20 to $30 price point products are typically impulse buyers. If we get up into like the $100 plus range, then it's, a little bit more of like a salesy, like long form page, but $20, $30. The goal of our collection page is super simple, streamlined, easy buying experience. Next, we have our product page, and the goal on this page is to get people to click the add to cart button. One of the ways that we do this, very subtle but powerful way, is with color isolation. So if you notice here, the color of the add to cart button should be a different color than anywhere else on the site. And top 3 colors, in my opinion, for add to cart or call to action buttons are either a deep green, a red, or a black. Those are my 3 favorites. There's other sites that will use like an orange, black, red, or green. You can't really go wrong with those as long as those colors are not prominent anywhere else on your site. After the product page, the cart is the next thing that they're going to come in contact with. And there's 2 different versions for the cart. This one is the cart drawer, which it just slides out on the right-hand side. And then it's an easy checkout or shopping experience from here. Optional, you can have in-cart cross-sells like those right there in here, but it's not required. But the primary goal here is to get people to click the secure checkout button at the bottom. As we just saw, that is the cart drawer where it pops out to the side. Optional page is to drive people to your cart page, where it's a separate page. The way to find your cart page as a Shopify store is just enter your URL.com/cart. And you'll see what your cart page looks like. Majority of the time, we just use this page for retargeting. For our abandoned cart emails, we drive people back to this page specifically so they're able to see which products they had in their cart at the time that they left. 9 times out of 10, we just use the cart drawer because, again, back to what we were saying about the fast shopping experience, this is the best way to go about that. But in either case, both of these are fine. The one thing I do want to point out about color isolation, this is actually a mistake. This button here is brown and this should be black. It should be the same color all the way through the funnel. So that's color isolation and consistency. It should be the same exact color all the way through. On the checkout page, it's the simplest page by far to optimize because Shopify gives you the least amount of control over it. So there's only a couple of things we can really do here. First is the color of these fields and the buttons here. I recommend either a nice black or a blue, neutral blue. You don't want to make these the same color as your call to action button. Again, color isolation is really important. And the second main thing is the shipping rates. And so if you're seeing a high reach checkout rate in your Shopify store, but a low conversion rate, highly recommend taking a look at your shipping rates because a lot of times people will be put off if they get all the way through your funnel, then they get to checkout and then they see $7 shipping for a t-shirt, which that does happen, especially if you integrate directly with Printify or Printful or one of those fulfillment providers. Sometimes they will automatically push their rates onto your store, which they're not the most optimal rates to be selling direct to consumers. So just take a look at that. Make sure you set up your own custom shipping profiles. Do a whole separate video just on that. Yeah, that's basically the funnel. And then the apps that we use as a bonus to run our Shopify store. The goal of our apps is 4 main things. It should either A, increase our conversion rate, B, our average order value, 3, it should increase our lifetime value. I know I switched from letters to numbers there, but dyslexia is fun. Not dyslexic, but as far as I know. Or 4, decrease our team's time. So we want to increase the number of people that are buying, increase how much they're spending with us, increase how much they're spending with us over time. Or 4, decrease the amount of time it takes us to work on the site and ultimately lower our costs. There we go. Make people buy more stuff. So these are all of the apps we're currently using. If you are just getting started, these are the apps that I recommend using. You don't really need to do all the fancy bells and whistles, but the categories are site management, marketing, fulfillment, customer service, and reviews. So for site management, we use Hextom Bulk Product Editor. This allows us to make any changes to all of our products with the click of a button. Super simple. Crush Picks. Highly recommend this one because for just $5 a month, it will greatly increase the speed of your site. Kiwi Size Chart. A size chart app is an absolute must for any kind of apparel site. Sizing is one of the biggest concerns and like buyer worries when they're shopping on your site. So this increases your conversion rate to sell one more person. It pays for itself right there. It's a no-brainer. Frequently bought together. This one's great for increasing your average order value. Then on our marketing side, we use Facebook and Instagram. This one's free. It's basically the Facebook Pixel and Catalog Connector app. Then we use Klaviyo for email marketing and SMS. In the beginning, I recommend just using Shopify's default flows. That works fine. Don't get into Klaviyo until you are doing at least $5,000 to $10,000 per month in sales. Once you're at that point, then great. Then start investing in this. But for now, just focus on your Facebook and next your Google. This is basically like the Google Pixel version of the Facebook app. Then GoAF Pro. You can set this one up just because it's free. We just set it up, link it at the bottom of our site. If any of your customers come to your site and they decide that they want to promote your products, again, it's completely free. You set it up. We pay our affiliates $5 per commission. So if they refer somebody to our site and they make a purchase, we pay $5, which for us is a no-brainer. Like, we normally pay $15 to $20 cost per acquisition. So $5, why not? But the only reason I recommend this is that it's free and it's easy to set up. So check that one out. Then Push Owl, this one does have free plans. This is the on your desktop. If you've ever seen those apps that pop up and say such and such site wants to send you notifications. Then for fulfillment, we personally use Printify. I've personally worked with all kinds of different print providers like Printful, Gelato, every different print provider under the sun. And Printify is the one that I keep coming back to for the 8 different brands that I've grown to 7 figures and beyond, because most important metrics for us are customer satisfaction, shipping speed, product quality, and then price. Those are the only 4 things that I grade a fulfillment provider off of, and product catalog to some extent. But Printful and other providers out there, in my experience, they talk about like a lot of the bells and whistles and like try to show you a lot of this stuff over here. And like one of the providers we got on a phone call where they were like, I told them, yeah, your pricing is unsustainable for us. They're like, cool. Well, I totally understand that. They did the sales call thing where they're like, I totally get that. They like get on your side. They're like, have you tried our new mobile app? I'm like, I don't think we're having the same conversation. With Printify, never had that experience. They get what the sellers want. They actively work to try to drive down prices for you. And they've done that. It's the cheapest, most cost effective, to say the very least. Fast shipping speed. We use the Gildan 64000 and our customers are very happy. We do that across all of the brands we've worked with. Highly recommend checking out Printify. They're great. They're also the sponsor for this video, but I only endorse products that we actively use ourselves. And I've been using Printify for 5+ years now at this point. Pre-COVID, back in the Stone Ages. So Printify, check them out. And customer service. So right now we use Gorgeous, which is a live chat and help desk. It's basically, it has some extra features. It's good to use, but in the very beginning, save on your costs. Just use Gmail. It works completely fine. Gorgeous has some extra bells and whistles where like it connects into your Shopify store, but honestly, in the beginning, just Gmail works completely fine. And then for reviews, we use Looks, very similar story to Gorgeous. In the beginning, just try out Judge. It's like $10 a month. I love it. It works great. Looks just makes it easier to get like customer photos of your products, which is, good creative assets to have. But in my opinion, it's not worth the $290 or whatever price difference. Down the road, definitely, but getting started, Judge works completely fine. There you have it. There's all of our apps all together. If you're just getting started, like you saw, go with the free options. 2 main reasons. 1, it saves you money, obviously. But 2, if you start paying for more expensive apps, at least from my experience, there's this baked in assumption that by investing in this app or this thing, it is going to fix my site that is not currently profitable or making any kind of sales. And that is just fundamentally wrong. And I can say that from experience because I've thought that way too many times that, my site's doing okay, but conversion rate's low. Oh, I'm going to buy this $300 a month app because it says it's going to fix that thing for me. It's going to do it. Never works out that way. Fundamentally, the only thing that does is what we've talked about before. If you're curious about learning about that thing, check out this video over here. It is the unavoidable law of running a successful print-on-demand business. And I give you some cool tips and tricks on how to not have it be a hindrance in your business, not only, but use it to your advantage in a way to absolutely crush the competition. So if you're interested in that, check out that video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.